I'm just shocked that the Celtics are really playing this well. I expected them to be around like a 7 seed when coming into the season. That's why I think I had them. I think I had them in at 6, 7, 8 around that area. And to see everybody really just balling like this is it's really dope. And then for Jayson Tatum to look like he's coming back, he wants to be a part of this. I mean, whew, I'm optimistic, man. The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit, y'all.
Do you think it's
Jalen Brown for MVP. Well, except for Shea. Well, behind Shea. He's in the conversation, Morris. He's in the conversation.
So Derek White in the conversation too.
Absolutely not.
I guess.
Absolutely not.
To answer your question, Ron, Anfernee Simons was really good last night. I mean, I think they did a really good job in putting him, especially Missoula, did a really good job at putting him in ISO situations, maximizing his one-on-one ability. Once he got going with that jump shot, I think he really likes the right side of the floor, that right break in particular. I think that's where he likes to operate. And once he got going, I felt like, especially in the second half, I felt like Missoula made a conscious effort to continuously keep him in the action offensively and kept him going. And I think that was good for the Boston Celtics because I think it took some of the pressure off Jaylen Brown, and he was able to close the game when we got late into the game. Because if he had to continuously just get all the buckets, I mean, I think that would have been a problem. I mean, Anfernee Simons, I always knew that he could get a bucket. And I mean, what we're not going to do is we're not going to sit up here and act like Anfernee Simons has always been, like 40 and 39. I mean, I think he's got like 10 games this year where has single digits. He's been a rotation player, so it's been a little bit inconsistent. But last night, I thought that Coach Missoula did a great job in using him with the basketball. He's one of those guys that plays really well with the basketball. And I thought Sam Hauser was great off the basketball last night, relocating, spot up shooting. I thought that he was really good in finding spots where he can be effective. And Jaylen Brown just did a great job in helping close the game.
Yeah, but chill. Anfernee Simons is like that.
What's like that, Ox? When you say he like that, what's like that?
I mean, he's a known bucket getter.
Mm-hmm.
And Anfernee Simons is a certified bucket getter. There was a time up here in Portland where remember when Dame was out, CJ was out.
Maybe we should be moving on from Dame.
You remember those conversations, right?
I do.
Remember those
Maybe
conversations?
we should be moving on with Simons. I'm like,
yeah.
easy,
So
let's relax.
I mean, this is so. I mean, I don't expect Anfernee Simons to be here averaging 30. I'm not saying that. And he's not. I don't think he's going to be a guy that averages 30. But I was shocked that he wasn't getting more minutes over there or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, this isn't something that we're gonna be like, oh my God, who is this guy? Anfernee Simons putting up buckets, like getting buckets like this. Like he might not average 30, 25, whatever, but on any given night, you better close out on Ant. You better close out on Anfernee Simons.
Last night was the most points, minutes, and shots he's gotten all season. So I think more a function of the fact that he got like 34 minutes. He hadn't played 34 minutes the entire series, the entire season. He'd only played over 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other times before this. So I think this is like completely like a,
an anomaly.
Shots up. He made his jumpers. He made 7 threes last night. That obviously helps. He's shooting 40% from 3 this season. Anfernee been very inconsistent this year. He started off, I felt like a little, started off well, but he hasn't offered them like a whole lot. I think some of the stuff that I was expecting him to bring over to Portland, but again, I also think Missoula is not playing him as much as I thought he would, just because I think he makes a lot of mistakes defensively for this team. But I think yesterday they just had to have somebody else score. I mean, they were kind of in a little bit of a rut yesterday. Obviously, Derek White didn't have the greatest game of all time. Sam Hauser scored 17. They got 11 guards off the bench. Jaylen Brown was 9 for 24. I just think the situation mattered. Like, you get up 16 threes, you make 7 of them, you make 6 of them, your numbers are going to obviously look a lot better. He shot 46% from the field yesterday. I think this is a player that if you had to give like somebody a lot of shots, and like yesterday, I just think he's a good enough shooter and he's a good enough ball handler to be able to get to a spot and score consistently. But I have been perplexed about him this year because I for sure thought that he would be better than he's been this season.
Swipe, I want you to expand on that, because when we're talking about, before you got up here, we were talking about the system, and we were talking about how important it is for a guy in terms of his skill set to be conducive with the system. And with the Boston Celtics, when they were playing in the Eastern Conference Championship in the NBA Finals, making deep playoff runs. One of their staples was their defense. That's a very huge part of their system. So with Anfernee Simons, would it be because he's not a part of it? Would it be because he's not as efficient as a defender?
I do think Mazzulla, in Boston fans, they could maybe speak to this better than I could. Obviously, I watched a good amount of Celtics game, but I haven't watched all of them, obviously. I don't think that in terms of schematically, defensively, that he does the same things as like, players like Sam Hauser, Robinson, Peyton Pritchard, who's been in the system. Peyton Pritchard's a better defender than he is. He's just smaller, obviously, but like he still like executes the scheme well. He's just limited physically. Sam Hauser, obviously, is bigger, better defender. I think Jordan Walsh, and the reason why they had a better start to the year, like, and why they're getting consistent minutes, he's a bigger, more able-bodied defender. Hugo off the bench, he's super young, super raw.
You love him, Ox.
Yeah, I think he can be a guy. Yeah, I think Hugo can be a guy one day.
What type of guy?
Really I don't know, Jordan. I don't want to define that right now.
A guy.
Yeah, a guy. A jag.
Like a good rotation guy.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, he's a rookie. He's literally a baby.
Very much a glue guy.
Yeah, he's literally
Jordan,
a baby.
We're not listening to none of your bullshit today. You talked to us about Jaime Jaquez. Jaime Jaquez looked like he's going to be the best rotation player in the game. You said he sucked. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to turn down.
Wrong.
Oh, right. So fix
all right, well, I'm noticing something, Jordan. Jaime, Hugo.
Yes. Fix your face, Jordan.
You heard his whole soliloquy on how European players get too much opportunity. That's why Hugo Gonzalez might be a guy.
In my opinion,
with the Euros, Jordan. What's your problem?
Yeah, that's the problem. If Hugo Gonzalez wasn't Spanish, he would have believed in him.
Where Hugo from, Mars?
Spain, I believe.
Okay, so he is European.
Yeah.
So
That's the problem.
Why are y'all trying to make this? Why are y'all trying to make this
look at this shit right here.
a political thing?
All right.
You the one started it.
Yeah, you did. You
the one started it, Jordan.
We just know if Hugo Gonzalez was actually American,
that's why
you wouldn't be mad that he could be a guy.
No.
Hey, Celtics fans in the chat. Let me finish this point before Jordan gets off on the soliloquy about this.
Yeah, but that's because he's bold. So that's a different.
I think Celtics fans. Do you feel like that's a fair explanation for why Anfernee Simons has been so inconsistent?
I think Peyton Pritchard's defense has been trashed this year.
But Anthony's also been bad too. Like,
yeah, but
I agree, but I don't think Peyton Pritchard has been good enough defensively to justify the minute disparity between the two over the course of the year.
I think Peyton does some things better than Anfernee, but
for sure, yeah. But it's like,
and
Peyton Pritchard shooting 30, like he's shooting like 30% from three this year as well. So like you're not getting the 3-point value from Peyton that you're getting for Anfernee Simons. Although I do like Peyton Pritchard's handling, he's getting into the paint. The mid-range stuff is still really good, but the 3-point shot isn't there. The defense, in my opinion, has been bad, and then obviously like the lack of size, and then you got Anfernee Simons being as good offensively as he is. I do feel like the amount of minutes he's been getting over the course of the season is a bit low, but doesn't mean I think he should be starting playing 30 minutes or whatever. But he is talented, and he's having his best defensive season of his career. If that helps.
Who?
I mean,
Anfernee. It's not saying much, but it's the best defensive season of his career.
I mean, to counter Swiper's point, and I didn't want to interrupt his L ball knowledge, but what? Like, he averaging 14. Like, what was your expectations for Anfernee?
Oh, yeah. I mean, coming into the year, I thought he'd be, I like Anfernee. Like, I always liked him with Portland, too. I thought he'd be like a, 17, 18, a game dude. Like, he's a really good scorer off the bench. He's obviously a veteran. He's seen a lot of coverages. He's played next to a lot of players. He's been really good. I just think that he hasn't picked up the Celtics system to a degree that I think I would have expected him to 41 games into the season. And I also think this is a little bit of he might not be there next year either, because they probably will trade him out, because I know they're still kind of working their luxury and all that kind of stuff.
Comes off the book.
So I did want him to have a really good year so he could like potentially get another deal with somebody else, because right now he's looked at. That's why they traded for him. He's like a negative contract.
What was your expectation of him, Drench?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really have one. I thought he was going to be about 14 and 16. That's what I thought.
So when he was in Portland in the last 4 years, I think he averaging like 19 to 20 a game over the last 4 years. He's doing something like that. So he gets on this Boston Celtics team.
Bad team though.
And they weren't a good team. Okay, but he gets on this Boston Celtics team, which they had basically been decimated. They lost 4 of their 5 guys. You add Anfernee Simons to that group. What was it supposed to look like? Because I'm looking at a guy who has a bucket hitter.
I think it's supposed to look like how it looks now. To be honest with you, I think yes, his minutes a little bit low, but it's not like It's not like Anfernee play and his play over the years is not justifiable that it needs to be play. Like he needs to be playing a lot more. Like, yeah, he'll have some games like he did last night, but for the most part, his minutes is kind of where it's supposed to be. Like, I don't necessarily agree that you're supposed to bring Anfernee in year one with the Boston Celtics with a system that they already got, that they building around guys like Peyton Pritchard was 6th man of the year last year. Derek White, to some guys, he was all NBA Derek White. Then you got Jaylen Brown. Like what we supposed to do? Move all those guys to the side for Anfernee? Why?
No, that's not it at all. In fact,
oh, that's not what anybody said, actually.
No, in fact,
but that's pretty much what y'all inferring. Y'all don't have to say y'all inferring it because
not inferring anything. Actually, like that.
I mean, yeah, you are, because at the same time he's averaging 14. Like, what? That's why I asked, what did you think he was going to average? He
comes over to a
so one more three pointer.
No, I said he got his most minutes, shot attempts, and points last night in game 41 of the year, whatever it is.
Yeah, that happens.
He hasn't played 34 minutes any other game this season. I didn't think that he would not have games that he wouldn't play that, because he is a really good player. I thought he'd bring a lot of offensive.
So when you was thinking of Anfernee, you was thinking about how many. You was thinking of him like, oh, so when you was thinking about Anfernee, you was like, well, it's no way that he's gonna play 34 minutes into game one. I mean, for the first time, game 41. There's no way you was thinking about that. You just thinking of Anfernee.
That specific point.
Yeah, you wasn't thinking about that.
I don't know if I've ever thought about that for any player.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like,
that they would not play 34 minutes through the first 41 games in any game of the season. I don't know if I've ever had that specific of a thought.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're bringing it up like it means something. It don't mean nothing. That's my point. It doesn't
mean
an
observation based on a question that was asked to me about what I expect from Anfernee Simons.
But Swiper, why wouldn't it mean anything? I mean, over the last 4 years up in Portland, he's averaging, I think, anywhere between 32 to 35 minutes a game. So he was getting heavy run, and he's getting.
Yes, he's not in Portland no more though. Like, Portland was a bad team. That's
but,
the Boston Celtics now.
Okay, the Boston Celtics. What did you think of the Boston Celtics before the season started?
I thought they were going to be all right. I said they was going to be all right.
So what's all right to you?
Sure, I said they would win 46 games.
A playoff team. I thought Jaylen Brown was going to be able to carry the load. Like, I always wanted to see Jaylen Brown as a number one.
Did you?
And they had a good role player.
Did you expect for Kata to play more minutes a game than Anfernee Simons this year?
Did I what?
Did you expect for Kata, or would you have expected Kata to play more minutes than Simons this year?
They play two different positions. I wouldn't even be comparing them two in minutes.
Sure, I mean,
like one's the big one, one's a guard.
Specific thoughts.
Why would I
he's averaging the 5th most minutes on the team, so that's good. Like, I think that's really good. I think I would have expected him to end more games and have more extended runs over the course of the season. Is what I'm saying,
especially considering what they had lost last year.
Over
who though? The question would have to be over who.
I think Anfernee. If you would have asked me last year, I think he's better than Pritchard. Personally, I would have said he's better than Pritchard.
No way you thought Anfernee was better than Pritchard last year.
Yeah, I think Anferney's a good player. Like, I don't think Pritchard's
Jordan. That's not crazy though.
Yeah,
that's really crazy.
Anfernee Simons is a really good player. I would have thought that their closing lineups this year would be like Derek White, JB, Anfernee Simons, and we're built in like, and then we have 2 other defenders or whoever on the floor. I figured that would be.
There's no way you think you're going to take Peyton Pritchard out the closing lineup for Anfernee Simons.
Well,
he didn't say take.
Here's the thing, though, Jordan.
He said close it. He said close the game with him.
Did you think that? Did you think Peyton Pritchard was better than Anfernee Simons like before the season? Because that's new to me. I didn't know that.
Yes, I think Peyton Pritchard is better than him. Like, y'all are basing something that he did in Portland. Nothing. He didn't really do shit. Like, he scored.
Nah, Jordan. He was getting busy.
He scored, but
maybe he didn't do anything in Portland.
Once again, though, Jordan, I used to be at the game. I used to be at the game.
But when it comes to a structured team, when it comes to a team that's striving for something, a team full of structure, Peyton Pritchard is better than him. That's not that hard.
That could be understandable. That's not what Swiper asked, though. Swiper said, "Who's better?" Now, if you're talking about who's better on the team,
I want to stay on the structure.
You could potentially say Peyton. But I'm gonna tell you the reason why I thought Anfernee was gonna come over and just be a little better than what he was, which he's still been being good. He's still been solid. He's shooting 40 from 3. He's shooting one of the best 2-point percentages that he shot in his career. And I don't think he's been a hindrance to this team at all. In fact, I think he's been a great additive.
Right.
I just thought the 3-point shooting alone, just that alone, was going to have him in the rotation just because that's who Joe Mazzulla is. Joe Mazzulla is the guy where he wants his players to get up a bunch of threes. And I figured Anfernee, like the game that he had last night, I thought he would have at least 3 of those by this point in the year.
I didn't think so.
It might not be a 39-point game, but I'm saying like a 31-point game where he hits 8 threes or 7 threes. You know, I thought he would have a few of those. Just because that's who he is. He a microwave.
But exactly wrong. What is he? Is he a point guard? He's an undersized 2 guard. What is he?
He a bucket getter.
He a tweener. He could play the 1 or play the 2.
He's a tweener, and then the size matters now. Now, because he's a tweener, size matters.
Yes,
I mean, he's 6'4", 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4",
6'3", 6'4". That's where he at. He around
not the best playmaker. Not the best playmaker.
I mean,
not the best defender.
With that at all.
Not the best defender.
Nope.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. With a check, throw smoke, and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out here did raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. Yeah, this that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.